Hey, Teen Talk Troop!
Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about making positive decisions, especially when dealing with drugs and alcohol.
This is very important, guys. When it comes to making decisions about drugs and alcohol, it is important that you know it does not get easier as you get older. Matter of fact, as you grow mature, there will be lots of decisions you will have to make without the help of your family or friends.
That's true, Asia. That's why it's important to develop good decision-making skills to help you make smart decisions when you're in those situations alone. You have to weigh out the pros and the cons of a situation before making a decision. There are tons of misinformation and things that can deceive you into thinking it's a good idea, when in actuality, it might not be the best for you.
It's not. So evaluating the situation before making a decision is always the right thing to do. There can be situations when you want to do something because your friends are pressuring you. When this happens, you are not making the decision because you want to do it. You're making the decision because the people around you want you to do it. This is called peer pressure, and it can be very difficult to avoid.
Absolutely. It's also important to remember your values when you're making decisions. Think about what is important to you, things that influence your integrity, your core family values. Does your religion play a part? This looks different for everyone, and it helps to shape who we are. What is important to you might not be important to your friend, and you have to stand your ground, or you might end up in a situation that's not favorable or has negative consequences.
And that is correct. We want you guys to avoid negative consequences, okay? Something that I like to do when faced with tough decisions is do a pros and cons list, okay, Sam? So what I do is I take a sheet of paper and I write down the challenges that I'm faced with. When I write down the challenges, then I write down my choices. Then I do the pros and cons for each one. This helps me determine the decision that's best for me.
Sounds like a good idea. This especially is helpful when dealing with drugs and alcohol. So we asked some people why they decided to do drugs and alcohol, and some of the reasons were that they gave in to fit in, deal with stress, or because they saw other people doing it that they know.
Yeah. And when dealing with drugs and alcohol, it is important to know that these substances are addictive. For example, even though marijuana may be legal in other states, studies show that the drug is in fact addictive. Marijuana contains THC, which can change how the brain works, okay? So in fact, marijuana has more than 400 chemicals and sometimes can be laced with other substances like lead or angel dust, which are very toxic, to increase the high.
That's crazy.
It's very crazy.
And the scary thing is that though these substances have negative side effects on the brain and the body, depending on the chemicals in marijuana, it can actually cause people to have hallucinations, become extremely violent, black out, become depressed, lose coordination, cause seizures, comas, and in extreme cases, possible death.
And this is nothing to die over, guys. So in our next episode, we will dig deeper into why it's dangerous to use drugs and alcohol, okay?
Yeah, and we will also provide you all with refusal techniques to help get you out of situations where drugs and alcohol may be present.
Refusal techniques are very important, and we will get into all of that in our next episode, guys. That's it for today. See you next time, Troop.